Now today we're going to return to this Avenger welder because a lot of people, they don't know what a spot timer is. That's this little knob right there. Okay, let me explain about some of the newer cars because a guy, he brought up a very interesting topic to me. Okay, now this is a fairly heavy hardy panel. It was made in Canada and it's raw steel because I usually get the galvanized panels. I'm not a big fan of raw steel panels or welding in raw steel. As you can see there, I'm welding in galvanized. Okay, so they brought up, I believe it was John Eagle Honda. I think they're based out of Texas, where somebody glued a roof instead of welding it. Well, some of those metals are getting ultra thin, and if you don't have updated modern equipment, okay, you can get yourself in situations where this metal's a little thicker, that's a little thinner, or they're both like tissue paper, especially new panels, okay? Now that's my raw screwing around there. It's not dressed up, it's not body worked, it's not seam sealed, okay? But you can get yourself in situations where it's not going to weld the metal on a regular frequency. So you have a spot timer that gives you just enough heat and just enough juice to tack the panel in place, okay? That is what a spot timer is and what it does. And I didn't really need it here, okay? But just for you guys that's why I'm telling you about DEI hires and who the hell is working on your car, even if it's a certified dealer and they got all those badges on your shirt and you think they're a rocket scientist and they turn out to be a real, DEI hire. So I'm going to put you on the table here for a minute. I don't have my tripod out. This is just a day out for me, okay, in the sun. I'm repairing the bottom of this door. It turned out, when I always said about if all you have is meatballs and you don't have anything else to go with it, you got to find something, or you're just going to have meatballs. And in this case, I needed a combination of body glue and I needed a combination of weld because this door was basically, the bottom of it was pretty much gone. And for me to buy that panel for $100 and some odd and charge him for a door that he's probably going to replace anyway, well, let it. My opinion is let the truck the way it is, as it stands. Because if he's going to get another cab, 9 chance out of 10 he's going to get doors with it. Because you're going to order them that way, especially down south. And the stuff is pretty plentiful down there. It's just that I think I told you in my early videos when I was doing Holly Ann, my Ford, and I called the Mississippi squirrel, or I call it the Tennessee squirrel. When I called Tennessee and he puts me on hold for nearly 20 minutes to half an hour, I got me 3 beautiful beds, and he's telling me all this garbage I don't need to know. I just need to know, do you have a bed that's in decent shape? I don't care what color it is. I don't care what kind of a truck it was on. And I just want to be able to afford it. So he's in this situation where I kind of advocate and look out for my customers. But that's how you use some of these features on these welders is you're going to find out that body glue is not always accurate. And you got to check your specs because even those dealers, like I said, if they got those badges on their shirts, that's another place. I don't trust the retard. They put those badges on anybody's shirt today. And half of those guys that don't even have a high school diploma never did. Uh, and it's not like a business is anymore ask for it. I mean, if you're literate and you can function, but then a lot of times they get you in a shop, and that's what got me in trouble is I go into a shop and I worked in a military shop, and these guys they're pulling pranks on you. I just had a call about maybe working on a Navy warship, and there's a guy we call these two guys Hutch and Clutch, McCluskey and Hutchinson, and I told them about Hutch. Hutch is a prankster, okay, versus Clutch. He goes along with the gags, but they hide those plastic snakes or rubber snakes and plastic spiders in service closets and different things. And well, if you ever been to the Philippines, you ever been near Panama, you ever been in the Mediterranean, you do get those creepy crawlers on a ship. And I'll tell you something, some of them are venomous and they can really screw you up. So let me give you a little message like about Hutch and Clutch. I told Hutch, one more incident, okay, if I go down there, I'm going to probably hurt the man. So I don't appreciate that. If you're a military contractor, if you've ever done anything for the military, your mind is days before working on the project. Sometimes they give you blueprints, registered drawings. Sometimes they give you Mickey Mouse garbage. So my mind going down there is on going on the, getting on the job and getting it done. and my first day is on when am I getting out of here, and I want to go home. So you know what I mean. Pranks are nice, but there's places where they're just not necessary. They're not needed. So anyway, that's about that. That's as close as we're going to talk to Hutch and Clutch. We're going to talk about those guys. They're kind of they are mentors. They're older guys, but they go a little too far, and that's why you guys need to learn from somebody that actually knows something, how to do stuff like this. You can cut panels. You can take scrap. I save a lot of scrap. See, even a piece like this, I have buckets full of scrap. I don't throw it away because you can't keep making stuff. This already has a nice angle on it, and it worked out real well for this job that I'm doing. So, do I like this Avenger welder? I want to tell you something. It's one of the only things that I've bought in the last couple years that exceeded my expectations. So, I'm going to go. I got my helmet hair going on here, and I'm going to finish that job. But I just figured I'd show you that you could just make your pieces, bend your pieces, just take your time with it, okay? You want to buy that ill-fitting piece, you're going to be doing the same thing. You're going to be cutting it apart, tweaking it, putting it in. I don't know why they just don't make slip-over panels or panels that accommodate. I just don't understand some of it. I mean, this industry in auto body could improve. There's many facets that do need improvement. Now, some of the stuff like body glue, some of the attributes that we're using today that we didn't have yesterday, that's a godsend. So enjoy my videos and enjoy, like I said about body glue. Yeah, it does have a nice grip. It does have a nice bite. But like this guy here, I got to repair this latch is walking out of the door. Am I going to be able to get that tight? I think I should. I think it just loosened up over time, but that's why half the time the doors don't open and close right. Am I going to have a problem now that maybe did I move this door, this area, did I move this area here out of alignment? I don't know. That's one of the things when I told you about that meatball, you're in that meatball the meatball special, okay? That's what I call jobs like this. They're meatball specials. Because like I said, if I'm a professional and the truck is in really nice shape, we're going to replace the door, and you're going to pay me $500, $600, $700, dollars to put the door on, paint it, sometimes more. Okay, that's what's nice about these retro trucks. If he gets another cab, we just rip it apart and shoot the whole damn thing, and we just fix whatever's necessary. Because a lot of times you get those trucks up out down south. They do have rust, but not like the stuff is up here in the Northeast. That it's just there's nothing there anymore. So there is stuff to do, and I don't always promise people cherries. So that is my video. Is the spot timer is where you have those metals, whether the conflicting metals, where one's thick and the other one's thin as tissue paper. That's good for a spot time weld. Okay, or we have real thin metal. That's good for a spot time weld. That's what a spot welder is. It's not made to weld a continuous bead. It's just made to tack things in place. And like this, I'm not going any further than those tacks. I'm not welding a solid bead up that thing and distorting the panel, because that's another thing is a solid weld can distort a panel, especially thin steel. So there are places where you have to check the manufacturer if they require welding the panel versus gluing the panel, because sometimes there's an avenue in the middle that you can weld and glue and still cheat and still have structural integrity, because structural integrity is important. And remember what I said about guys hiding snakes and rubber spiders and stuff like that in the pipes, Hutch. I know those guys watch my videos, those two boobs. All right, thank you.